Welcome everybody. I'm Karen Sharples, I'm HR Director for the UK. I know some faces, but there's quite a lot of people that I don't know. It's a long time since I've been to Edinburgh, so I'm really pleased to come and visit the site today. We at Dole UK are supporting Men's Health Week this week. We're also working in collaboration with Ireland as well, who are doing the same. And after talking with Brian, we wanted to invite Andy's Man Club into the Edinburgh site so that we could talk about the Andy's Man Club charity. And Alex is here today just to share with you a bit more about Andy's Man Club. So thank you all for attending, and hope you enjoy the session and get involved in the session. Thank you, Alex.
So I'm Alex, I'm one of the project development champions for Andy's Man Club. So just need to tell you why we started, how we started and how we've grown. We do talk about suicide and loss, and I share my own struggles with mental health as well. So if there is any triggers in here, please just let one of the guys know that you're okay and just have a chat at the end. I'm going to introduce Andy, so the one says Mama Lane and brother Luke, who started Andy's Man Club. Andy was a young man from Halifax who took his own life by suicide in 2016. As you can imagine, it devastated his friends and family, and his brother Luke wanted to do something in his memory to create a safe space for guys to come together on a weekly basis and get stuff off their chest. So the first video is just a quick intro to who Andy was.
When I first approached Elaine, it was about finding that one man. Just getting one man to stop one of our family going through what we'd been through. Hi, my name's Luke Ambler. I'm the co-founder of Andy's Man Club, a talking group for men.
He were a cheeky chappy, typical lad's lad, tough as nails, but I think probably had a soft centre. Andrew died early hours of the Tuesday, 5th of April, and the weekend prior to that he'd had an enormous falling out with his partner, and I just think he got himself into a really dark place that he couldn't get out of. And that's the sad thing, we just think he'd have talked to anybody to have snapped him out of it, told him what he were thinking were rubbish, he would still have been here today.
4 days after my brother-in-law Andrew died, I approached my partner and asked her about setting up a group where we could get guys just like Andy, myself, talking. 3 months after, I approached my mother-in-law Elaine at a wedding, family wedding, and asked if we could set up this idea where men could just meet up and chat, and together we came up with this concept, Andy's Man Club, a simple idea where men, like myself, like any bloke, normal bloke, could just meet and talk. You'll have that anxiety, that nervousness, that fear of judgment, but there's none of that when you come through the door at Andy's Man Club. It's a tea, a coffee, you sit down, a ball gets passed around, you have a chat, and you'll be amazed at what it can do for you, just letting some of that out. More than that now, and we've been on a bus tour, we've met the Royals, we've had letters off Theresa May, you know, Lad Bible, all these cool stuff. Leeds United this week playing against Huddersfield Town wearing the shirts, you know, just reaching the exact demographic that we try to reach. And it's just about finding guys just like Andy, who maybe have got that mask on, who feel like they can't take it off, they're going to be embarrassed or they'll burden someone, just to be comfortable to be able to take that off. And that's what I'm proud of. I'm proud that we have 800 plus guys a week being able to take that mask off and open up and still get to go home with their families on a night.
What we need to do now is to get the whole world to realise that it is okay to talk.
It's okay to talk.
It is okay to talk.
Over 4,500 men a year die by suicide. That's just in the UK. That's 12 men every day, 1 man every 2 hours, 86 men a week, which is absolutely frightening. It's the biggest killer of men under 50. You're more likely to die from suicide than you are from prostate or testicular cancer. So mainstream media is more happy to talk about the other two because suicide is something we don't talk about, and that's one of the reasons we're here to normalise that conversation around suicide and mental health, and just keep people talking about it. Following Andy's death, Luke decided we wanted to create a safe space for guys to come together on a weekly basis and chat about stuff that we're going through. He came up with the concept of Andy's Man Club, put a post out on Facebook, and within a week we had our first meeting, and 9 guys actually turned up to the very first meeting. 2 weeks after that, Luke came up with the OK to Talk campaign. This was around the time of an ice bucket challenge, somebody might have done that for MND. And he just felt, if we're talking about stuff like that, we should be talking about mental health in general. So came up with the concept of it's OK to Talk. Professional rugby league player at the time, we thought he was quite prolific on Twitter, had a good following. Good looking lad as well, probably about 25 filters on that, so he felt up, put it on social media, and he posted it up. Within the first 48 hours, I had 2 people sharing a selfie that was okay to talk, and one of them was his dad. So he got in touch with a couple of ex-teammates and current teammates, and they started to share it across their socials, and it quickly picked up momentum, and I had some Hollywood stars and a lot of sports stars sharing it as well, and it was quickly recognised as one of the biggest mental health movements on the planet. 100 million people sharing the same thing, so okay to talk. Ricky Gervais was one of the first big names to come on board and support Andy's Man Club with the campaign. Again, very prolific on Twitter, but he's usually talking about his cats. And if you've seen some of the stuff he's done recently on Netflix, he's challenged some of those stigmas around mental health and suicide as well. It was this picture that I came across, just googled to see what he was doing, discovered Andy's Man Club, got in touch with him, and with the interest of bringing it up to Scotland as a project for work. Used to work in the Scottish Prison Service, started just along the road at Edinburgh, and then moved up to Perth, and I was working in the gym environment, doing lots of guys' physical health, but we weren't doing anything to support their mental health. So we got involved in Andy's Man Club that way, and brought it back up to Scotland in September 2017. A couple of sports stars there, so we've got Callum Watkins, rugby league player for Leeds Rhinos, Anthony Joshua and Josh Warren, boxers, typical men in the eyes of the media, basically getting paid to not bounce with each other, but all quite happy to put the weight behind Andy's Man Club and open up and tell about their struggles when they've been down in the dumps and struggling with injuries and training camps and stuff. So it's that kind of coverage that was giving us a wee bit more momentum and more people got involved. And obviously, as Luke mentioned, we get a lot of help, a lot of coverage through sport in general because we're trying to get men through the door. So football in particular is quite popular with us. Leeds and Huddersfield Town are on the screen there, shows our growth. Got a lot of Wraith Rovers, Hearts, Hibs, St Johnstone, right across the country to non-league stuff as well. We've got blobs up at St Andrews and Glenorchy and all these different league clubs. So it's about them reaching out to their communities and the guys that follow them as well to hopefully encourage them to open up and talk so they've got somewhere to go. But this is a generation we want to impact on. If we can put our guys out on a Monday night at 9 o'clock in a better frame of mind, when they walk in the door at 7 o'clock, it'll impact their friends and family in the local community, and hopefully it'll encourage them to encourage their kids to open up and talk. Wee guy with the denim jacket on is Alfie, that's Luke's wee boy. It's the noise that Alfie let out when he was told his Uncle Andy had died was something that will stay with Luke forever. And that's his biggest motivating factor, to make Andy's Man Club as big as we can and get as many groups across the whole of the UK, so it stops other families going through that devastation that Andy's family's going through.
Starting a group or a club called Andy's Man Club, and the reason I came up with it because I've been passionate about mental health for a long time. 3 months ago, my brother-in-law died by suicide, and I wanted to do something where I could personally contribute and make a group and go and help other men, come up with a plan where guys could come together and talk. And if it ends up being like tonight's the first night, so I'm quite nervous about tonight and who turns up, but the outreach that I've received has been unbelievable, and it's so rewarding now looking at what we've done and why we've set it up. Along with Andy's mum, we've got a purpose behind it, which is mental health and Andy, and that his name can live on and create a legacy and helping. And if we can move this to Bradford and Leeds and so on, and other people get involved and they want to set up an Andy's Man Club in Nottingham or up in Scotland, that'd be ideal.
Okay guys, are we ready after 3? 1, 2, 3. It's okay to talk.
Andy's Man Club.
Andy's Man Club. Andy's Man Club.
Andy's Man Club.
We're here at Albert Prom. Significant for 2 reasons for me. One, we're just above where Andy died by suicide, and 2, we're just above the Tower House where I approached you 5 years ago and said, can we start Andy Roberts Coffee Club, which no one will have heard of because you accepted the idea but declined the name. And then we both went away, didn't we? And you'd thought of Andy's an acronym, and I'd thought of this thing, Man Club, and together we created the beast that is now well known as Andy's Man Club. How did you feel heading there that first night?
Excited, actually. I remember going to Morrison's to buy tea, coffee and sugar, and like you said to me, there'll only be us turn up, there won't be anyone there, and I says I can put up with you for an hour. And I were actually amazed that 9 guys walked through the door.
And all opened up.
And accepted me being there.
Yeah.
So what's your biggest few highlights been over the last 5 years?
The overall journey, like, I won't change anything from putting that first post out to doing that Sky Sports interview to having no idea how many guys would come, to 9 guys turning up, to then 15 guys turning up. It just completely exploded to the next minute being down doing stuff with Samaritans, Professor Green, Prince Charles, Prince Harry, letters off Theresa May, the Queen's Award, Uni Lad, Lad Bible, Shortlist, like the list goes on.
Just took over, didn't it?
Yeah, there was nothing else.
No, there wasn't. I breathed, slept, ate, drank, and is my club. Everyone that goes to their own group says it's a brotherhood that they've got. It's like having a second family.
I know a lot of men that have struggled generally, especially in the UK. I think not enough men talk about the problems.
The first step towards helping myself was joining Andy's Man Club.
The only time I first spoke about my problems was when I first went to Andy's Man Club.
I first sought help through Andy's Man Club.
It's saved my life, really.
One of the things that I still find that's been the most powerful thing is that very first night we all got together for Lad Bible showing. We hired Shay, did it all up with balloons and everything, and we had no idea at that stage whether it was going to be just me and you again, or well, our families were going to go. And there were, 300 to 400 people turned up. And that is the first time I realised how much work we were doing to help the families.
Yeah.
There were so many families there that had lost people. 2 different mums came up to me. Oh, it's got me again. 2 different mums came up to me and said, it's the first time I've ever been able to talk about it. Because suicide is something you just never talk about, and if somebody asks how did your son die, but it is very difficult to say they died of suicide, and they were both in tears, and they just said it's the first time ever we've been able to talk. And it weren't until then that I realised what a massive impact we were having on the families.
So, 5-year-old today, happy birthday, Andy's Man Club. So that first night, we've walked in, 9 men have turned up, one of which, Oliver Vicks. What a journey that man's had.
And they just...
I had nowhere to go, nobody to talk to. I found myself in the pub most nights, just for some company, to go somewhere and be around other people. I soon realised that wasn't a very productive way of dealing with my problems. It was about that time that I found Andy's Man Club. I actually attended the very first ever session of Andy's Man Club. From there, just that first night, opening up, talking to people about my problems, it really helps put things in perspective, knowing that it wasn't just me that was going through these things, but also it's okay to talk and it's okay to get things off your chest. After that first session, I felt like I'd had 12 cans of Red Bull. I honestly felt like I could have flown home that night. And I knew then that was a feeling that I wanted to share with as many men as possible, provide this platform to as many men as possible. So we're here now today, opening our 50th club in Pontefract. And we set out with a goal 5 years ago of having 10 clubs in 5 years. So to have 50 clubs in 5 years, it's absolutely unreal.
The fact that you were the first guy, or one of the first guys to walk through the door, one of the first guys to speak, to then go on to be a facilitator of the biggest group at the time of Andy's Man Club in Halifax.
Well, he was really first facilitator,
First,
wasn't he?
yeah, and then became one of our project development champions, and now heading up, starting new groups. He's just put the pin on the board for the 50th group over there in Pontefract, and to celebrate he jumped out of a plane. So when people talk about that one man, it's not just a guy walked through a door and he's talked about his problems. Here's a guy who's walked through a door, talked about his problems, got himself back into his job, started seeing his son again, got his life right back on track, and now works for us, and he's jumping out of a plane celebrating up in there.
That's how Andy's Man Club grows, because once people are in better positions, they don't walk away, they want to give something back and not the next man that's going to walk through that door.
Yeah. But the biggest part for me that's made this journey so nice is the people. That's what's so special about Andy's Man Club. The people, the fact we're a registered charity now, and we have 8 amazing trustees, 7 fantastic staff, over 250 plus heroes, facilitators who open those doors every single Monday night to give guys that safe place to go and talk, to the thousands, the army of volunteers out there on the streets, raising awareness, backing us, supporting us, loving us, liking, sharing, commenting, every single thing that we do, because without the people at AMC is nothing, and they are the biggest asset that we've got, and we are indebted to each and every person that has ever supported us and continues to do so. If I could send any message out, it would be that other men or other people could set up a club, call it whatever you want, just get men talking and making it feel that it's okay. Get rid of this stigmatism that it's a problem, and let's squash it together, and hopefully, there could be some lives saved for this.
Two years on, we've got 132 community groups across England, Scotland and Wales, 10 of them in Scotland, one just along the road to North Mercus in Edinburgh. We're open to any man over 18. You don't have to be suffering from mental health issues, you don't have to have suicidal thoughts. You might just want somebody to go on a Monday. You might be social isolated, you might want to escape the wife and kids, get away from Edinburgh on the telly, whatever your motivation is, you're more than welcome to come along for a moment like that. We're on every Monday night, 7 till 9. 2 reasons for that. It was Monday to Tuesday that Andy died. Secondly, it's one of the most common times in the UK for a man to die. We don't meet a bank holiday because English love their bank holidays and they close it down and take the day off. But we still try to do stuff across the country. We meet up for walks, we go for coffees, there's pool nights, quiz nights, all sorts of things going on because it becomes part of the guys' weeks. There's no bookings, no charges, no referrals needed, just need to rock up at one of those venues across the country. Guys like myself, dressed with Andy's Man Club gear on, part of their job as facilitators is to make that first step for the man as easy as possible to get them through the door. So what to expect once he's walked through the door. He'll get in there, he'll get a tea or coffee, a biscuit, maybe a wee bit of home bacon if it's something being donated or brought in. And then we'll sit him down and we'll maybe pass him on to one of the more established members of the group. We'll explain what goes on in the meeting. So we sit in random rooms across the country, from fire stations, community centres, to even your one in a lighthouse. And within that circle, we've got our version of the talking stick, which is a full football. So it's like a big massive stress ball. When you've got that ball, it's your turn to talk as much as you want. If you don't want to speak, you just pass the ball on. Within that circle, there's 5 questions. First 3 are always the same, so guys know what they're coming back to each week. Number 1 is how's your week been? Just a general catch up with guys to see how they're getting on. Number 2 is one positive for your week. So if you like is really struggling and having time, you can find a positive as well through the door. Well, that's the first time or the 101st time. Because when you're struggling, that's the hardest thing to do is get rid of news. Number 3 is anything off your chest. And that's where we have all sorts from relationship breakdown, debt, unemployment, struggling at work, crashing the car, kicking the car, whatever it is that's bugging you at that moment in time. That's your opportunity to get off your chest. So it's taking up space in your head and creating bigger issues further down the line. Then stop for another cup of tea or coffee. We really do like a tea, coffee and Andy's Man Club. And that's where the peer support comes in. So Andy's Man Club doesn't promise to fix you, it will support you to fix yourself. So if I share something in question 3 that I'm struggling with, chances are there's someone else in the room who's going through something similar, if not exactly the same, and making sure coping strategies or contacts to help each other through that area. And as Elaine mentioned in the last video, that's where that brotherhood comes in, because guys genuinely do start looking after each other and help each other out with the group as well. We then get back together for questions 4 and 5, which are positive neurological response questions. So I guess I'm thinking of good stuff. So it's loosely based on CBT, so there's a lot of reflective practice questions in there, or positive goal setting questions about doing something for yourself or someone else. There's also the happy questions in there. What's your favourite sandwich stopper? What's your favourite dad joke? And my favourite at the last few hours being, which way do you put the toilet roll in the toilet roll holder, over or under? As you can imagine, I have some hilarious answers to some of these questions, and genuinely some of the funniest things I've heard of being in a Monday night in these months. I can't tell you anything because whatever's said in the room stays in the room. And it's that confidentiality that makes Andy's Man public. Three things we don't talk about. We don't talk about medication because we're not medical professionals. What was for me might be for you. And we don't talk about religion and politics, very divisive subjects. And in Scotland we avoid football because it covers religion and politics. And so, and hopefully by the end of the meeting, those guys will be in a better place than when they walk through the doors of the court. And then we could go on their way and back to the rest of the week. If they are struggling through the week, there's a closed Facebook page for every group. And it's only guys that attend, for example, Edinburgh on the Edinburgh closed page. So if they are struggling, they put a wee shout in that, and one of the guys will come back and support them. That's also there for positive stuff. So as I mentioned, a lot of the clubs play 5-6 football once a week, there's pool nights, there's online quizzes, meeting for coffees, go for walks, loads of different things happening socially that the guys can get involved in as well. So it is more than a Monday night. We're averaging 2,800 men a week. We're almost hit the 2,900 last week. And we shout about that number not to say, look at us, we're brilliant. But so that one man watching, thinking about coming on Monday, can see that 2,800 men can walk through the door. And if they can do it, then so can we. And hopefully that'll lead to him coming through the door the next Monday night as well. We also have online sessions available. This was because of COVID, we had to close the 28 groups at the time, and we put them all on to Google Meets. And we've just kept that going because there's still guys that can't leave the house for various reasons. Some of the guys actually prefer the online stuff as well, so, or they maybe don't have a group locally. So if you're in the UK and you don't have an Andy's Man Club within 20-25 minutes, you can tune in on a Monday night. Same time, the only difference is you're sitting there and you've got to make your own team club. We can't help you there, so, and we don't pass the ball, as you can imagine. So I am that one man, that's one of our hashtags. So everything we do, including coming out and speak to yourselves, driving with cars with stickers, doing posts on Facebook, is to get that one man through the door. And we'll do absolutely anything to try and help that one man. I am that one man. I go to Andy's Man Club for my own mental wellness and have done for just over 6 years now. And I think I've only missed about 6 or 7 meetings in that time. I was first diagnosed with depression, anxiety and panic attacks when I was 21. And I've been on medication all my life and still on antidepressants to keep my brain straight. In 2012 I went through quite a messy breakup and a long divorce with my first wife. Lots of issues with houses and cars and my young daughter at the time and access issues and stuff like that. And as I mentioned, I work in the prison service, so quite a demanding job as well. So I try to keep myself busy, do lots of overtime. I was also training to become a PTI, so I was doing lots of different courses out with work, so I was doing extra money for that. And I just basically kept myself as busy as I could, got myself into a bit of a mess again, and started to really supplement that dark cold. Started to use alcohol and painkillers to cope, so as you can imagine, just amplified everything I was going through, and I just got myself into an even worse state. Moved myself away through to Montefieth, and got myself into another relationship away from all my support work in Perth, and just kind of isolated myself, and just cracked on everything I was doing. Wasn't getting to see my daughter as much as I would like, and that obviously had an adverse impact as well. Relationship turned quite toxic, so very manipulative mentally, no physical abuse, just mental abuse. And I just was struggling to find a way to get out of that relationship. I had lots going on in my head. I genuinely didn't know if anyone would listen to me if I reached out, because I thought I was the only guy that was going through what I was going through, because men don't talk about that stuff. We just crack on and go on with it. I ended up in 9 Wells where we thought at first it was a stroke. It turned out to be cluster migraines brought on by stress. So we got put on medication to try and deal with that. Unfortunately, I took a reaction to meds, and that's when I ended up in the hospital again. I had to come clean to the doctor that was abusing other things. So I had to detox off everything to go on this medication. Unfortunately, that new antidepressant at the time, most common side effect of that is you will have suicidal thoughts. So in my head, I was in this perfect storm, my life had turned. I couldn't get out of the position I was in, and the only thing I could think of was to take my own life. One Tuesday morning, I decided enough was enough, and I packed up everything I had in my house at the time and labelled it all nice and neat and put it in a corner in my garage for Mum and Dad just to pick up and take away. I was standing my noose around my neck in the garage, and my daughter phoned me away from school and told me she loved me. If it wasn't for that phone call, I wouldn't be standing here today talking to you guys. That's why I think it's important to come out and talk about what I've been through, what Andy went through, and guys like that. First time I shared that story was at Andy's Man Club in April 2017. Never told anyone that before. I passed the ball, and the guy sitting next to me, who was my mate, I've known him for 30 years, and he just looked at me gobsmacked. Why had he never told me that? He then shared his story about losing his brother-in-law to suicide 30 odd years ago. again, didn't know anything about it. We absolutely everyone about each other. You know, that guys don't talk about that stuff. We talk about hand of the weekend, the football, the rugby, what pub we went to. We won't talk about the stuff that's going on ahead because we think it makes us less of a man. It takes a big man to stand up and talk about his feelings and show emotion in front of his So hopefully, if anything, you take away from that is that it's okay to talk. Obviously, Monday nights are for men over 18, but we do have women involved in the organisation behind the scenes. We've got our office angels who basically supply us with absolutely everything and anything we need, not just to do our jobs, but to run the groups on a Monday night. As you can imagine, we've got just over 1,400 volunteers, and they can be quite demanding, asking for more t-shirts and wristbands and flyers, and the girls are absolutely brilliant and sending out anything we need. But we've also got women behind the scenes, going out raising awareness, handing out flyers and wristbands, raising money, raising awareness, forcing the guys to come through the door on Monday night. Because a lot of the guys that come to groups wouldn't be there if it wasn't for their wives, their mums and sisters and daughters getting them through the doors in the first place, so we couldn't do it without them. But a couple of big awards over the years, National Diversity Award, which just raised the charity to that next level and raised the profile a wee bit. And the Queen's Award, which Luke mentioned in one of the videos, basically the MBE for voluntary services, and that recognised the work again of those 1,500 lads giving up their time, not just on a Monday night, but at the weekends, through the week, going out and handing flyers and raising awareness, attending festivals and all sorts, just to get the word out there, because you know what the difference it's made to them. We hope to pass that on and get that big man through the door. That's me. Thanks for listening. We're all over social media. If you don't already follow us, please do. Please like and share our stuff. Take a flyer, a card, a wristband, pass it on to someone, put it up in the local post office, because you never know who might see it. And just you share that wee post in your time, maybe reach out to one of your pals who's going through a bit and don't know how to reach out, and maybe reach out to you or to somebody else or to even us. But again, thanks for listening. Happy to open up to questions and discussions if you've got any, and we'll stop the call. All right, thanks guys.